Hi everyone, sorry for not attending earlier's seminar. Anyway, today I'll be presenting my third paper entitled The Effects of Nickel on Tropical Scleractinian Corals. Here's the outline of my presentation. So, to start with, why is nickel valuable? So, nickel can be found in stainless steel, so like utensils and kitchenware, in electronics, your cell phones, iPad, laptops, but also in your rechargeable batteries. Nickel is mined from nickel laterite ores, or extracted from nickel laterite ores, and they're commonly found in tropical areas such as the Philippines. Today, mines worldwide extract more than 2.25 million tons of nickel annually. So here is your Southeast Asia and Melanesian region, or the SEAM region, and in this region, there is high deposits of nickel laterite mining, nickel laterite ore. That's why several large-scale mining sites are present and operating in this region. And in the 2014 world nickel production alone, uh, some of the top producers, such as the Philippines, New Caledonia, and Indonesia, belong to this Southeast Asian and Melanesian region. And the nickel mining production in this area, uh, the nickel mining production capacity is expected to expand to meet the global demand. So nickel laterite mining, nickel laterite extraction is done by open cast mining, and this leads to um, uh, landscape alteration, and during wet season, uh, it causes soil erosion and siltation in the coastal waters. In the Philippines alone, it has a lot of um, nickel laterite mining sites, especially in the Surigao del Norte and Surigao del Sur provinces. And aside from being high in uh, nickel laterite deposits, the SEAM region also has the highest level of coral richness and biodiversity in the world. 100,000 kilometers of coral reefs in Southeast Asia alone. So, ganun siya ka rich in uh, species. And here we focus on the effects of nickel on the scleractinian corals. These are also called stony corals or hard corals. And they are marine animals that build themselves a hard skeleton. So scleractinian corals are foundation species that form vital structural habitat supporting other organisms. So one of the study investigated on the effects of dissolved nickel on adult scleractinian coral, Acropora muricata, and they found out that when exposed to very high concentrations of nickel, coral bleaching was observed. Another study conducted investigated on the physiological response of adult scleractinian coral to nickel enrichment. Here they found out that when exposed to small amounts of nickel, or a combination of small amounts of nickel and urea, uh, it stimulated calcification in your corals. So what these two studies try to say is that um, at very high concentration, it is bad for your corals, may bad effects. While at very small amounts of nickel, it can be considered as micronutrient to your corals. Nickel is considered micronutrient. Now, another study investigated not only on the effects of dissolved nickel, but also the effects of your nickel-contaminated suspended sediment on the scleractinian coral. So they examined the physiological response of the branching coral Acropora muricata following a 7-day continuous exposure to either dissolved nickel, clean suspended sediment, or nickel-contaminated suspended sediment. So for the coral and sediment sample collection, they collected their samples in Queensland, Australia. They collected uncontaminated sediment in Heartless Creek, while for the nickel-contaminated sediment, they collected it in Saunders Beach, which is close to a nickel and cobalt refinery. While they collected their coral samples in Trunk Reef. The samples were taken on June 2017, which is dry season in Australia. So for the experimental setup, they have here a 115 liter na tank. It's where they fill their treatments. Nakalagay doon yung coral nambids, 16 to 20 coral nambids per tank. And merong 9 replicates yung ganitong setup. The first 3 are for your dissolved nickel concentration. You have water only, 0 concentration as your control. Another one for 200 microgram nickel per liter. Another one for 400. The other 6 is filled with suspended sediment treatments. So my levels of 5 milligram for the first 3, 30 milligrams for the last 3. Both have clean sediments filled. My nickel spike laboratory spike nickel contaminated na sediment, while the last 2 I filled with field collected na sediments from the Saunders Beach. So here's the characterization of the different sediment treatments. What this table basically says is that in your added nickel, your laboratory spike sediment, there is more nickel present in the dissolved form than in a mineralized form. While in your field nickel sediment, there is less nickel present in dissolved form, and the rest, or the majority of the nickel present in the field contaminated sediments, are mostly in mineralized form. Here we look at the physiological response of coral to nickel and suspended sediment exposure. First, we look at the coral tissue coral intensity. So at high concentrations of nickel and at laboratory spike sediment treatments, there is high loss in your color tissue, or bleaching is observed in these treatments. However, in your field nickel sediments, lesser yung bleaching observed. And the reason for this is that since more nickel present in the field nickel sediment ay mineralized, so less exposure to your dissolved nickel, while here in your nickel contaminated na sediment, mas mataas yung nickel in the dissolved form. Here we look at the symbiodinium density. So there's high variability in the density if your symbiodinium SP in coral tissue. However, in your field nickel na treatments, there's an increase in your cell density So the reason here is that the field nickel sediment has relative high organic carbon content, as we can see here in the table, that the field nickel sediment mas mataas yung total organic carbon niya. So, yan. And then next, we look at the nickel bioaccumulation in coral tissue and symbiodinium SP. Here is for your nickel content in your coral tissue. Here is for your coral-associated algae. The baseline value for your algae is much higher than your coral tissue. And we can see that, of course, in high concentrations of dissolved nickel, tataas din yung nickel content in your coral tissue. But here, in your laboratory spike na nickel contaminated sediment, there is much higher nickel content in your tissue. And the reason for that is they just said that the solved form of nickel plus your nickel in your TSS contributed to the accumulation of nickel in your coral tissue, unlike the field nickel na, since lesser yung dissolved nickel present, so mas konti din yung nickel content in your tissue. Here we compare the values collected in New Caledonia and the Philippines, according to their TSS and nickel sediment concentrations, and we found out that the values here for your laboratory spike contaminated sediment is relatively the same as for your results, your values taken in New Caledonia, and itong values na to nakuha from a very polluted area in New Caledonia near a mining site. Although in this condition, since by the way, the conditions for the setup is in constant, may constant flow of seawater, temperature, salinity, and pH. And may LED na nasa taas nung setup to mimic exposure to regular exposure to sunlight. In natural conditions, since mas mataas yung sediment concentration at saka dissolved nickel, mas nagiging turbid yung waters, and that means less yung light, less yung exposure ng mga corals sa sunlight. So what are the relevance and implications for the risk assessment of nickel in tropical seam? As the seam region expands, processing capabilities for nickel, specific information is needed to effectively understand the risk posed to tropical ecosystems such as coral reefs. Changes to nickel distribution or abundance will have consequences for the stability of entire reef systems. So what are the recommendations? First is to conduct long-term studies in seam coastal areas near a mining or industrial site. Like in particular in Taganito, Surigao del Norte, where large-scale nickel mining sites are present. Tapos malapit lang siya sa coastal area where Taganito Reef is present. Other environmental stressors like natural calamities and anthropological activities must also be considered if you are going to use the results of this study. And strict implementation of environmental protocols and standard practices in nickel mining must be observed. And lastly, we need to reassess and establish our own water standard quality guidelines. So in summary, there is an increase in mining activities in tropical regions. There is limited toxicity data for the effects of nickel on corals. Nickel in field collected contaminated sediment is more present in mineralized form. Thus, it had no adverse effects on the coral or the algae. TSS levels of laboratory spiked nickel sediment and very high concentrations of dissolved nickel reflect condition of highly polluted environment and thus cause bleaching and high tissue nickel content. These effects on corals is due to a combination of dissolved nickel in the overlying water and particulate bound nickel on the sediment. Our results of the study will assist in the assessment of potential impacts of increasing mining activities on tropical marine ecosystems. And lastly, more studies must be conducted on seam areas to determine actual and long-term effects if nickel-contaminated coastal waters on tropical corals. And other environmental factors must also be considered. That's all. Thank you.